All right, ladies and gentlemen, next up is Landon Sanford with Element. We're ready when you are.
All right.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Who sat in traffic this morning excited to talk about dating apps? Anyone? Thank you. So I'm Landon. I'm the founder of Element. But before we dive too much into what Element is, first want to chat a little bit about other dating apps. So how many of you have heard of Tinder or Bumble? Okay, so the majority of you. So if you haven't heard of it, it is swipe right or left based on images. If you both swipe right, it can be a match. If you match, that can lead to a conversation. A conversation can lead to a date. This has a few problems, mainly for males and females. For males, the problem is that it's just very hard to stand out. This is a video that's not working right now, but it just shows my friend Laura's profile, swiping right, and it's 20 consecutive matches in a row. And the reason for that is actually rooted in statistics. 46% of males swipe right, while 14% of females swipe right. So what that means is that for a male to get the same number of dating opportunities as a female, they need to swipe on 18 times the amount of profiles as a female. So how do you stand out if you're a male? You stand out, one, through creative pickup lines. If you do match with someone, just trying to come up with something different than just a hi or a hey or what's up. Or secondly, just trying to get more matches. You can pay premium, which is about $10 a month. About 10% of people pay that, and that gives you more swipes, potentially more matches. Or some guys have become innovative in some of their ways to try and get more matches. So what does this mean for females? For females, it's the reverse. What stands out? Out of all these inbound messages, how do you pick the person to talk with? How do you gauge who is there looking for a hookup, who is there looking for a serious relationship, who's there looking just to chat? A lot of our beta testers say that guys just talk and nothing happens. There's no call to action, there's no end goal. And there's no way for a guy to stand out financially, creatively, or in any other way. It's just a guessing game. It's a guessing game on motives. So before I dive too much into the solution, this is hard to read, but this is the story behind our brand. We were beta testing a girl 3 weeks ago, and she said that every Tinder or Bumble date is either drinks or dinner. But she is more in her element when she's playing putt-putt. She said she's just more natural, more easygoing, more fun, it's more relaxed, whereas a dinner date can sometimes feel like an interview. So that's the direction we're going in. Our platform is focused on experiences. It's not a blind date. There's still messaging, there's still other people's profiles, it's just that we reverse the process, where you lead with the date, you lead with the experience, rather than leading with the swipes and the profiles. And so what this means, if you look at our beta, this is our beta right now, is that you're sorting through experiences that people have posted, whether male or female. But what that does is, one, it allows guys an opportunity to stand out, to be creative, to focus on things they might enjoy doing. For females, it's not a guessing game. If you like putt-putt, you can find other people, you can express interest in dates posted by other people who like that. Or you can post about dinner dates, you can post about drinks, you can post about something creative, you can set dinner on a sandbar at Sullivan's Island and see who's interested. It allows you opportunities to really stand out without having to just pay for more swipes, which doesn't do anything. And this is part of a larger trend towards experiences. Airbnb is doing it, Groupon's doing it, everything is moving more and more towards experiences. But the dating community, for some reason, has not tapped into this. And what's unique is also that the dating market is not one where it's a specific market share, slice of the pie kind of thing, because people use more than one dating app. So this is just a trend in the evolution. We're just an iteration in the evolution of the dating app process. Tinder was first to swipes, Bumble was first to female, and we're the first to experiences. So that's pretty much what we are. Our plan is to launch in DC on August 1st. We already have some capital right now, but we're still looking for other investors. And we're trying to get people in their element. We're trying to help people lead with experiences, a dating app focused on experiences, and that's it. Thank you.
what do you think?
Kevin?
So this is cool. I dig that this is a next evolution step. Why are you doing this?
I'm single.
Well, so
What do you mean, why am I doing this?
yeah, why are you passionate about
So
doing
it was a personal problem for me. I love surfing, and I was out surfing one day, and I said, okay, if I want to find a surfing date on Tinder, that means I have to swipe with 1,000 people. Maybe 100 of them have a surfing picture in their profile. Maybe 10 of them match, lead to a message where I get to the point where I say, hey, do you want to go surfing? And then I find out, no, they don't like surfing.
Since this is about enrichment and not strictly an investor pitch, I would say lead with that story.
Okay.
That tells me that's a perfect vignette of why somebody would pick Element over Tinder, Bumble, Match, eHarmony, whatever else is out there. So that's a great story, and I like it, and it makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I would definitely lead with that over. I mean, it is good to have that third-party story from your person that you referenced in the presentation, but your personal story is always better. And then I also noted that if you go back a couple of slides, I don't know if you can, like
Which one?
maybe 3 back, 1 more back. Yeah, that one.
Which one? This one?
Yeah, I mean, that slide appears way too late because even just visually, right, you're validating just with the brands you're listing there, you're validating your story a little bit more, and I would do that earlier rather than later.
Well, I wanted people to first understand what it is before diving too much into
Right, I get it,
trends.
but just grabbing somebody's attention, that I think I would get to your personal story earlier and that one as well.
Okay. Great points.
Can you tell me 2 things I'd like to hear more about are your user acquisition strategy and your monetization strategy?
I wanted this to be 10 minutes so I could talk about monetization because because Tinder and Bumble, how do you monetize on those? The only way is a premium version, more swipes. There's no way to really interact with businesses. I mean, maybe you can do some advertising. This just opens up an entire new doorway towards working with businesses, working with events, working with experiences in ways that other dating apps, it's just a brand new, it's a new channel. It's a brand new channel for businesses. And I think it's the strongest part of what we provide. Just the opportunities, you get a free drink at this place if you posted our date here. For also tapping into what you said with customer acquisition, we can do referral giveaways. You get 2 free tickets to Taylor Swift concert if you share this app with 10 people. Things like that you can't do that on Tinder and Bumble. So monetization, I mean, yeah, we can do premium version as well. We can make money off data and analytics on showing that these are the top 10 activities or dating restaurants in the area. But just working with businesses, working with events, and working with brands is just an entirely new channel.
So I'm less familiar, obviously, with, I've been married for 7 years, so I'm less familiar, although I do understand the technology. And one of the investors in my company was Justin Mateen, who founded Tinder. So I understand, and he walked me through all of why he did what he did and how it worked, which was fascinating because he really saw it in the beginning, and I think it's changed a lot, and I think there is some frustration there, and there's a reason he sold it, right? So, tell me about what is the investment that people have in these other apps that it would be hard for, when I say investment, not money-wise, but they've created, the reason that people don't switch off Facebook is that they have hundreds of friends there. They have hundreds of memories stored, and it's really difficult and sticky, right?
Of course.
So, tell me more about that in terms of Bumble, Tinder, Match, the amount of stickiness that they have, and how do you overcome that?
The short answer is there is no stickiness. The average person uses 3 dating apps, not one. They're not committed to Tinder and most guys use more like 4 or 5. You know, they're on Hinge as well. They're on OkCupid. There are Plenty of Fish. They're on Tinder and Bumble. There is no tie to that except maybe past messages. But there's no stickiness, and that's why it is a unique market. That's why I mentioned that it's not a market share slice of the pie kind of thing where Tinder has 70% of the market. It's because people use multiple dating apps. So
How do you become more sticky? What keeps you from being, okay, you're up the chain too, and somebody else comes in and says, oh, we can take eyeballs and usage away from Element too. What are you gonna do? You have an idea of what you do, what you add to create a layer of stickiness, so that you don't become just another 2-year sort of a rise and fall?
Right. I mean, in terms of stickiness on the app, I can dive more into the product side of that. So I guess in general, I mean, one is you launch in one city with a good sized budget, and if it works, it's just a simple, scalable city by city kind of model. That's what all the other major dating apps have done. There's been some successful ones the past year or two, The League, some of those, but that's just the model in terms of stickiness is, we don't need to go national on day one. We just need to prove it in a small market and then go from there. In terms of if we fade 2 years from now, I mean, I don't know where we'll be 2 years from now, but starting market by market, and you can keep, another thing tying back to experiences, you can keep people coming back with different experience offers. During onboarding, you can find out that they like their number 1 category is outdoors, their number 2 category is nightlife, and sending them different offers for a date, for a group event. And also 2 years from now, we want to broaden past that. So I think dating is the perfect place to start, but eventually this can go, I mean, Tinder or Bumble is an example of they broadened to like a BFF mode. If you're in a new city and you just want to meet another guy who surfs, you could do that, or into more of a groups mode. If you need 4 more people for a volleyball game on Saturday or 2 more people for some event, so there's more ways to broaden past that, besides just the dating components.
So, what I'm trying to get at is, and we experienced this somewhat, and I think Chris, you probably remember this from Geekin, is in the music business, right? Really, it's novel, but there's a rise in the fall, and you saw this in the anonymous chatting apps. Yik Yak got a lot of play here in Charleston, right? It's gone. It's gone because it didn't have anything that created stickiness, but it raised $500 million or whatever it was valued at, and now it's valued at 0, because it had the rise and the fall, and a lot of VCs now and a lot of investors are looking at that, going, okay, we saw that play just doesn't work out, and so what I'm trying to figure out is, okay, so let's say you make a couple, right? A guy and a girl, they go surf. You meet your girl surfing. Now you guys are a couple. You're not on Element anymore.
But am I telling people that I met my wife on Element?
Maybe it's not. It's not the stigma is not there anymore. People are loud and proud about meeting on Match and however they met. Right? Tinder's more of a hookup app. I get it, or it's got that play. But Match, a lot of people who are like, yeah, we met on Match. It's not. There's no stigma attached to it. So I guess my question is like, just thinking through like, hey, how do I, once I capture that couple, be part of that couple's life moving forward,
right? So
that it's not just a transaction and then they're gone.
No, and that's something that with date idea, that's another possible thought down the road is date ideas for married. I hear what you're saying, so I'll keep that in mind.
Audience, your turn. Who's got a question? Right here.
It's more of a statement.
Okay.
To kind of answer your question, think about what's the best way to tell a story through somebody's life. Maybe like Instagram, where they can take a picture as soon as they get there, so people can see. It's part of that user experience, because I think user experience is awesome. Like, I'm all about user experience. That's my thing. So just being able to tell that story all the way through a date, or all the way through the rest of their life, where they can come back and say, or show their kids like, hey, this is where we met, or show somebody else, hey, this is where we met. That keeps the user, that keeps the stickiness. Like, I keep somebody there because they have a personal connection with it. It's not going anywhere.
Right. That's a
So,
great point.
that's just my 2 cents.
Thank you. One more from the audience. Dr. Starr.
Can you explain your traction plan in DC?
Traction plan? So one is referral giveaways, what I was talking about, a social media budget, throwing events and actual experiences, hosting experiences. We're looking to raise somewhere in the $100,000 to $200,000 range and promote it and just it's a question of whether or not it works. Yeah, but I mean, dating apps have done this in the past with not the opportunities to work with experiences or events or promotions or giveaways that we do. So I believe we have a stronger case to really try and make an impact and a splash in a market like that.
All right, Landon Sanford with Element, ladies and gentlemen.